Welcome everyone. In today's video, I will be featuring a traditional and special Mauritian treat for all of my fellow foodies and especially for those who subscribe to a plant-based diet. If you're new, my name is Sierra and I'm an American expat currently living in Mauritius. My channel provides people who want to work remotely or travel abroad with useful expat topics and insight on living in Mauritius. Today's video was also inspired by the Poudine Manioc Mauritian Cassava Cake Sweet video by Cook with Shlomo. With that said, the star of today's video is the versatile tuber renownedly known as cassava or manioc. Cassava is actually not indigenous to Mauritius, but was imported to the island from Brazil in 1735. Then, a Mauritian innovator known as H.Rault decided to craft together a homemade cassava biscuit recipe while the island was void of wheat. In the tasting department, it was a hit. However, at the time, cassava had a reputation for being mostly fed to livestock, so it took some time for the island's inhabitants to feel persuaded. In 1908, H.Rault took his biscuits to London, where he won a silver award for his prized cassava recipe, and the rest of the story is history. Today, visitors can enjoy H.Rault's homemade recipe that has been passed down now for 5 generations over the past 150 years. The famed biscuits and galettes are comprised of natural ingredients, no preservatives, gluten-free, and some are even vegan. On the grounds of Manioc Biscuit Factory, I encountered a sprawling plantation of endless cassava plants. For the harvest, the workers take the roots of the cassava plants and use them to make biscuits. The stems are then used to make new plants, and as an added bonus, the young leaves of the plants are edible and can be consumed for their nutritional value. Instead of wood, the workers use palm leaves and sometimes sugarcane leaves to feed the fire used to cook the biscuits, but more on that a little bit later. In the spirit of keeping with tradition, most of the machinery used at the factory predates back to its inception and is well over 100 years old, like this scale. Here is a machine that is used to thoroughly clean the cassava until it is spotless. Afterwards, the cassava is placed in this machine to be crushed and made into a paste. The next step is to extract the water from the paste. This is done by putting it into a press where it is squeezed to remove as much moisture as possible. Once squeezed, the cassava will start to resemble something that looks similar to a block, and then is placed into this funnel where extra moisture and fibers are removed. Upon exiting, the cassava finally starts to resemble flour. Here, we can see the flour nice and sifted and ready for the fun part where it finally gets cooked. Upon entrance, the cooking station was filled with the aroma of warm cinnamon, toasted cassava, and hints of vanilla. The station at first glance resembled that of a large communal table. Here, we can see the beginning stages of making the biscuits, which starts on the left and continues to the right upon completion. Here is where the palm trees from earlier are fed into the fire to heat the top of the cooking station. In this clip, we can see the beginning process of creating galettes. These are similar to the square cassava biscuits made at the factory. However, galettes have a filling on the inside. After the flour is sifted into the molds, splashed with a nice coating of cinnamon, also known as filling, heated, the next step is for them to be cut into rectangular shapes. The process for the square cassava biscuits is very similar, and the factory produces around 20,000 per workday. When the biscuits and galettes are packaged, they are sealed with a natural substance that is derived from corn flour to keep with the vibe of all things natural. Around 40 biscuits are packed into one package at a time, and the factory typically works on 3 to 4 flavor variations per day. I even was fortunate enough to do a taste testing on one of the traditional cassava squares straight out of the oven. C'est magnifique. What's more is that you can also opt for tasting while visiting Manioc Biscuit Factory, where you can sample all of the biscuits, galettes, coffee, or tea. In my opinion, the vanilla tea was a winner. Have you been to Mauritius before? If so, drop a comment below about your favorite Mauritian dish. Also, if you like this kind of content, be sure to like, subscribe, and turn on your notifications so that you can be informed of upcoming video releases. Thank you for watching.